What's happening, dudes? It's always a great day when I get to check out a knife that I've always wanted to try, and today's one of those days. So, let me get the box, and here it is. Let's open it together. Please subscribe to the channel. Fail. Ultimate fail. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video right now. Like the video right now. Go do it. And subscribe. You're watching Duty's Daggers, by the way. And Hinderer. Dude. When was the last time I had a Hinderer at my desk? Well, it was when I just first got this, my XM18. And that was a long time ago. That was such a cool video because that was the first time that I got a knife that I wanted really badly. That was the first one. This was my first Grail, man. Go back and watch that video if you want to see a really excited person unboxing a knife. But anyways, this is another Hinderer. One that I haven't tried yet. Not even at a knife show. Oh yeah. The Project X. I'm worried. I feel like this might make me want one really badly. Oh man. The textured oxide. The Project X is the newest design from Hinderer. And yeah, it's really cool. It's got a couple pretty cool differences from at least from the XM18 and from a lot of their other designs too. Let's go ahead and flip it. All right, is there different blade shapes for the Project? I don't think so. I think Project X's are all this blade shape. Nice drop point, you know. Pretty typical sort of shape. At least what the belly's doing. This is a little interesting here. We got this little swoop there, and then we got the swedges. Same texture on the G10 that they always use. Same texture on the lock side. Man, that textured lock side is so cool. They don't usually do textured lock sides. At least they've never done them that I'm aware of on the XM18 or 24 or Eclipse. Those are the ones I know for, I think for sure. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if they've done it before the Project X. We have the tri-way pivot system, just like on all the others. Different branding on the blade. Usually it's kind of up here. It says USA S45 yen. On the Project X, it's down there, which I kind of like. It's a nice change. No thumb stud. No thumb stud. Isn't that kind of like there's room for one? Now, Hinderers notoriously have very weak flipper tabs. Like, they're just really easy to fail. Not sure why. It's partly because you have so much leverage with the flipper tab being shaped this way and how big it is. I mean, they're really easy to flip, but they're also easy to fail. Now, the thumb studs are really nice and snappy, however. But this is different because there's no thumb studs. And it definitely feels snappier than my XM18 as far as the flipper tab goes. Yeah, definitely a lot snappier. I can still fail it. Definitely a lot snappier, though. Ergos are really good. Really, really good. It almost has like a Demco sort of feeling on the handle. How we have kind of like the hand retention, if that makes sense. Like your hand can't slide up because of the flipper tab, and it can't slide back because of this little hook deal point right here. And Demco does that too. We have this little hook back here and the little hook up front. And I kind of like that feeling of being like really locked in. I'm getting that same vibe with this handle. I really like it. Same clip, right? Yeah, same clip. Lock bar stabilizer, of course. I like the pivot. It's bigger. And you don't need the flathead anymore for the pivot, which is nice. Oh yeah, the tool. There's a tool back here. So you might say, how the hell am I going to turn that? Well, there's a special tool. And it's right here, and you can take it out. Another really cool thing. How do I do it? I should probably close the blade when I do that. Another really cool thing about the Project X, it comes with a tool back here. Look at that. Oh, it's so cool. And then does this, how does this work? Oh, okay, for this side. And then I guess that just doesn't spin. Oh yeah, okay. It's a captive pivot. It's a hexagonal, whatever. Is that hexagon? Whatever shape that is, and then you put this on this side. Is it a regular Allen key size? It looks like it is. But that's so cool to have the tool right on you at all times if you need to adjust the pivot. I'm going to try backing it off a little bit. Oh, now we got a little blade play. This looks brand new, so it's probably not broken in yet. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit smoother. Yeah, that's nice. And we have, well, actually there's still a little bit of blade play. Okay, now it's gone. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's cool, man. So how does it work? It's got this little spring in this little crutch area that goes around this big barrel spacer. And then you have to push down to get it in this little, that little stop pin deal in this little hook notch area. Just like that. Very cool, man. It's not rattly. And it just looks like a backspacer. Except when you need it. Isn't that rad? Really cool. It's ground fairly thick, like most Hinderers are. Not as thick as I've seen on some Hinderers, though. Let's see what we got behind the edge thickness. 19 thousandths. Not horrible. A little bit less up here, 17 thousandths. And then we start getting a little thicker toward the tip, 20 there, and then up to 26 at the very tip. That's actually not bad, man. 20, like, you know, I always say 20 thousandths is kind of an average, you know, behind the edge thickness for most pocket knives. Obviously, we want thinner, you know, 15 thousandths I think is really nice. And then obviously even thinner than that's really, really nice. But 20 is not bad. I think before I had this reground, this was a Spanto, which is my least favorite blade shape for Hinderers because it's almost like it's a spear point tanto. So that you have the edge and there's a little transition here where you kind of get the tanto portion of the tip. And where it transitions, it was something insane, like 35 thousandths, I think it was. Bonkers thick. And then it was pretty thick back here too, probably like close to 30, 25 maybe. So this isn't bad. This is kind of average, you know. Blade stock thickness, 166 thousandths, same as the scales. Is it 166 on this too? 164, hang on. Oh, 164, okay, yeah. It's 164 on both, so both the scales and the blades are exactly the same on both these knives. And on the if you have an XM24 skinny, it'll be the same as well. I think that's kind of cool how they do the same exact thickness on the blade as well as the two scales. It's kind of nice and symmetrical. I do like symmetrical things. Things to be even. I like things to be even, and that's really nice. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's pretty cool. Here's the size comparison up against. I just sent the XM24 back that I was borrowing, so I can't put that one up, unfortunately. So it looks like a little bit bigger than the XM18. So it's probably going to be right around maybe halfway between the XM18 and the 24, which is, I think, a pretty good size. I personally think the XM18 is the perfect size. I don't want to go any bigger than this. Unless maybe it's the Project X, because I really do like this. XM18 obviously is going to be the 3.5-inch blade. This is going to be... Wait, what? It's the same blade length? Handle's 5 inches here. 4 3/4 here. So wait, it's only a 1/4 of an inch bigger? I guess so. That's weird. Doesn't it look a lot bigger than that? Maybe it's because the handle is like wider back here, and the whole blade is kind of wider this way as well. That is odd. Wait a minute. Wait a second. What's going on here? It's kind of hard to measure this handle. 4 3/4. 5. So there's a 1/4 inch there. 3.5. It's a little over 3.5. It's like a 16th over. This is exactly 3.5. So it's not that much bigger, but it seems bigger. Definitely seems bigger. Pretty cool, man. I can't remember if these are more expensive than an XM18 or not. XM18s are $425, I think. I got a little bit of a pivot lash on this. Maybe it's because I loosened the pivot, though. Hang on. There is some slight pivot lash on this. Very slight. But it's there, I think. I could just be tripping. Maybe the pivot needs to be tighter, I'm not sure. Perfectly centered. I like how it's not crowned, but they kind of bevel the edges up here where the jimping is. That looks kind of cool. They don't do that on the XM18. Titanium liners, obviously. It's pretty neat, man. I've always thought that Hinderers looked really cool on the lock sides. I just love how they look on the lock side. All of them. They just look so cool, man. There's like a lot going on with the lock sides. It's not just like plain. Even on the non-textured ones, like there's stuff. There's stuff to look at on the lock side. Doesn't that look cool? Also kind of cool how, you know, we have the same sized hardware on the front and back. You know, you have this size for the pivot and then the same size right back here where the tool goes. And then on here we have the 2 hexagons. It looks rad, man. It looks really cool. I just like how it looks. I like how the knife looks. Big old Torx right there. What is that? Is that a 10 or something? It's bigger than a... Is this a 10? Yeah, it's bigger than a 10. That must be like a... I don't even know. Do I even have that size? Let me see. This is a 20. It's not a 20. This is a 15. It's not a 15 either. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Whatever size it is, I don't have it. Pretty rad. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? It's this size. It's the same. It's the same. You use the tool. Oh my god. What was I thinking? I guess because it looked different than these, I was like assuming it was different. So this is the first Hinderer where you only need one tool to take it apart, except the clip. Right? On past Hinderers, you've needed 3 different tools. A flathead, something to hold this side. Usually I cut a notch into a penny and use that. And then this Phillips for the clip. The only time I've ever seen Phillips used for a clip on any knife ever, I think. Oh, they moved to Torx. That's good. These just strip out easily, man. You know, you have like your screwdriver's a little too big or too small, and you end up stripping it out. It just sucks. You can tell I've kind of stripped out that one a little bit. So yeah, I'm glad they did that. So that's pretty cool. Everyone that's always complained about needing 3 different tools to take apart a Hinderer, here you go, 1 tool, and it comes with it, so you can't complain anymore. At least on this knife. And this tool sits very nice and flush too when it's in there. Very, very flush. I like how they give you kind of room. They chamfered the inside edge of these liners so that you could get your finger in there better. That's pretty cool. It is kind of hard to get out. The best way I've found is to use my fingernail and put it on this edge and push down. Almost feels like it's gonna... Yeah, it's not too bad. Getting it in's easier. Cool, man. Really neat. Does it make me want to get one? Kind of. Honestly, I wish I had a thumb stud. I really do. You know, when you have one deployment, it needs to be really good. And this ain't it. It's a pretty typical Hinderer flipper, which is mushy. Like I said, it is a little snappier than my XM18's flipper tab. And it's not bad. It's not like it's going to be a problem. When I go to flip this, it's going to open. You know. But it's not a great flipper tab. It's not a great detent for it either. I just wish I had thumb studs. Because then I really think I would probably buy one. And there's room for them. There's no reason why this shouldn't have a thumb stud. Well, you can always put one on yourself, I guess, right? There we go. Thanks for watching, dudes. Oh, let's put up the XM or the 8020. Sorry, that's about the same size actually as the 8020, almost exactly. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Later.